Welcome to my first proper video on this channel. As you can see, we are at the beach and it is so windy, but besides that, it is such a nice sunny day and I just wanted to make the most of this weather and also film this video. I have actually already tried to film this video once, but I was trying to film using the mic of my iPhone 4, but it was not working out. So now I have this little mic and I'm hoping that it will help me with this video and that the audio quality is okay, because it is actually quite loud, and this will be the true test of that. I've written a little script for this video, hence my journal being with me. I'm hoping that as I go about filming more videos and talking in front of the camera, I will be able to film videos without any planning or without any general scripts. But for now, since it's my first introduction, I wrote a little thing to help me prepare and know what to say, and yeah. I have already posted a video on here, so it's not technically my first video, but this is the first one that I'm filming knowing that it's going to be on YouTube, because my last video, I wasn't actually planning for that to be posted anywhere or even to be a video. It's just a compilation of a lot of videos that I filmed throughout my second year of uni and my first year. And I guess things just progressed and it turned out to be my very first video on this channel, and I'm really glad because I'm really proud of that video. I think it marked a new beginning for me and it holds two things that I really do value, which is gratitude and reflection. I hope that video will just be a good reminder to me in the future and to other people of the feeling of happiness and fulfillment that someone gets when they feel very purposeful. But yeah, I've really felt like I grew into a new person last year and I just wanted to document that, and I thought this new venture was a good place to start my channel, because this is also a very new thing to me that I started this year, because I really want to step out of my comfort zone and try things that I really do love. I think it would just be a fun next thing to do for this year. But yeah, even if that video came unintentionally through that period, I learned how important it was to be intentional with things. So I thought it would be a good first proper video and introduction for this channel to talk about intentionality. So that is what I will be talking about in this video, and I'll also talk about my own personal intentions. So what is intentionality? It is defined as the fact of being deliberate and purposive. Deliberate meaning that is done consciously and carefully considered, and purposively meaning with purpose. So it's about doing things mindfully in aims of achieving something in particular. So being intentional is a choice, because we can easily experience and do things without complete awareness, or for example unintentionally, because we might be engaged in or be thinking about something else. So it is much easier to do things without thinking too much, because after all, if we do use less cognitive capacity and memory, we can free that space up to think about other things, and it makes us feel like we're accomplishing more at once when we're multitasking, because it is very easy with how busy everyone's lives are. And I think there's definitely a shift in us trying to consume more, whether it's media, posts, skills, philosophies. This is not necessarily a bad thing, but I think it makes it harder for us to justify being focused and truly present and one thing at a time, because exerting more energy than needed on one thing might seem like too much effort for us, and maybe even a waste of time or inefficient, as opposed to the productivity of thinking and doing everything all at once. So it's easier to be unintentional, but does doing more at once truly equal increased productivity? Is it better to do more or to do less? I don't think there is ever straightforward answers to questions like these, but to help think about this, I wanted to talk about a book that I've been reading recently. It's called The Unbearable Lightness of Being by Milan Kundera. It's a story which explores the lives of its characters and how they live. In the story, we see examples of different characters who live with different ways of thinking and doing and different values. So they make different choices in life. And one of the key concepts that they talk about in this book is the concept of lightness and weight. This was introduced by a philosopher, but I don't want to butcher their name, so I'll put it somewhere here on the screen. Lightness is the idea that because the universe is so big and in the grand scheme of things we are quite small, that our decisions lack meaning and any real significance. But another part of this was that because they lack meaning or significance, that the choices that we make shouldn't make us feel burdened, and it should make us feel more free, because we don't have real responsibility, because our lives are temporary and a small part of such a big world. The other concept of this was weight, which is the idea that we do feel burdened and we feel very responsible with the choices that we make in our lives and how we lead it, because we only live our lives once. So these concepts set the tone of the book in encouraging us to reflect and think about how we perceive our own lives and how we make our choices. Reading the book, it brought up a lot of questions for me on whether my decisions and my life feels like a burden to me, or whether with either the concept of light, that I feel very free with my decisions and how I live my life because I'm a small part of the universe. But yeah, I am not a philosopher, and I probably have misinterpreted some aspects of this philosophy, but I do still believe that the questions that the book and the philosophies have raised to me have been very helpful and very insightful for me. Because since I'm in my 20s now, I think I have been coming across a lot of decisions that I think would impact a lot of the rest of my life. And I can definitely view the decisions in both ways being a very big responsibility and also a very big freedom. But I never really considered it until I was introduced to these concepts. And I think it helps me very much make sense of things, reflecting on philosophies like these, even if I don't fully understand it. So bringing it back to the initial question I talked about earlier on whether it's better to do more or less, ultimately everything is down to personal perspectives, and arguments like these, like I said, only bring about reflection for me rather than concrete answers on how I would like to live, and makes me think about what I value and the benefits of living life in different ways with different perspectives, and on what resonates most with me. I think how you interpret things and how you see things influences the choices that we make and how we decide to lead our lives. Another thing that this book brought up to me is the idea that if we value a lot of things, and if there's lots of things that are very meaningful to us, they might hold more weight because they're things that are important to us and make us less free in a sense. Whereas if we don't value many things, we're much more free and much more light because our decisions only affect us, and therefore it might feel lighter rather than heavier. And it's just hard to know what type of life we should choose to lead. But like I said, I don't think there is ever a true answer to these, and it's very much subjective to each person and each person's values and morals. For me personally, I'm a person who chooses to live a life full of many things that I value and things that I choose intentionally to be part of my life. And I think this helps me to lead a much more fulfilling and purposeful life. This way of life is the one which resonates most with me and makes the most sense for me personally. Because yeah, I'm quite a sentimental person, so having lots of things like these that I value and are important to me really help me ground myself and help me to feel much lighter rather than having lots of weight and burden, because it's just the way that I love to live and that helps me the most. Although this type of life might be deemed as not light or more heavy because I'm held to the weight of particular people, responsibilities, security, and I struggle to let go of a lot of things and people and places in my life and memories, seasons of my life, I would always take the weight of it every day because I really do appreciate having things of value in my life. Even if that means that I have less freedom to do whatever, whenever I want, I would still choose this way of life. And it just makes the most sense to me. It gives me a lot of peace knowing that I live in a way that I truly appreciate and that I truly choose. I think a good life is one with weight. To me, these things don't feel like a burden, but something that makes me feel lighter and happier. All things considered, there will always be many ways that we can lead our lives. And yes, our lives are singular and they're fleeting in such a big world, but I believe that living with intention is one of the biggest ways that you can lead a life that is truly the most fulfilling for you. Regardless of the philosophies of lightness and weight, or the many philosophies around that suggest how we should live our lives and how we should make our choices, the one main true fact is that our lives are only ours, and our choices and the way we choose to lead our lives is only up to us. The one true fact is that this singular and fleeting life is only ours. We can consume as much as we want to feel that desire to learn and know more. And we can also choose to focus on only a single thing to develop. We can choose to exert masses of energy on one thing or choose to exert little energy on many things. I think productivity and efficiency is also just another subjective concept alongside that of lightness and weight, and that there will never be a true answer to a lot of the questions that they propose or that they may bring about. Because with all of these theories and philosophies, it can definitely be easy to be caught up in what ifs and be overwhelmed by the amount of information and questions that a lot of philosophies may bring about. But I think that as much as there are many ways to live, in the end it all comes down to what we want for this life, our intentions. Living with intention, aligned to what we want, I believe is one of the most important things to lead a fulfilling life. Whether we would like to do more or to do less, or what the correct way of doing things, it's in the end all entirely up to us to decide. My past years of life have been mostly academic, so I've been very much focused on the theoretical nature of things, understanding how things work and why. It's only really in the last year of my life on placement that I've been thinking about the intertwining of theory and practice a lot more. And through this, I'm realizing that this is how purpose can be met. Purpose cannot be met with just thought or just action, but with an amalgamation of these. The things we believe or think become our reality, and the things we choose as a result of our values and choices make up our life. We use theory to understand and develop things that eventually become practical actions, but it always begins with intention. Intention to understand, intention to develop, intention to do something practical as a result of understanding. We can always set goals because we like the idea of what we will bring into our lives, but without action, these goals serve no purpose. Why set goals if we won't seek to achieve them? In the real world, outside philosophies and theories, taking action requires real effort. So coming back onto the main topic of this video, intentionality is the bridge between thought and action, which can bring about purpose. But what does this really mean? Because the idea of setting intention seems very basic and simple, it can very much get overlooked. We have goals, but somehow they aren't producing what we want. And so this often makes us wonder why. There are many reasons why this could be, but the main one that I will be talking about is understanding, because this has been one that has been very prevalent for me. I think it's really important to understand things because then this helps us to bring a life that can bring about purpose for us. When I talk about understanding, I mean understanding who we are, our strengths, our weaknesses, what we love to do, and the world that we live in, because this can help us make goals that are attainable for us. And combining this understanding with intention allows us to take action. After all of that, I do hope I really emphasize that I think personally, intentionality is the key to living a fulfilling life. Considering all of that for myself, I want to bring it back to my own personal intentions. In my own life, I've definitely been someone who has many interests and aspirations in many different things. So I've really fallen into the habit of thinking so much about a lot of different things and things that I would like to do, but not really taking action with it because there is so much that I struggle to make a choice. And so I end up not making a choice at all. And at times, this has led me to feel very unfulfilled in lots of areas, I'd say. So this is something that I really wanted to bring forward because as much as I've been saying a lot of things about purpose and about being intentional, I think the most important point from all of this, if there was one key takeaway, is that the most fulfilling life is one that is most authentic and meaningful to you. And I just think intention is one of those things that can really help aid that, because setting intentions that resonate most with you can help you set those goals that you understand are meant for you and that are possible for you and align with you, because I think it gives you a lot of intrinsic motivation to set those intentions and know that they are meaningful to you and truthful to you as a person, and that aligns with what you want to do with your life and yourself as a person. For me, I think in the last year, I've really built myself up to a place where I am so genuinely appreciative and grateful of the life that I have and the choices that I've been making. And I think the biggest thing that has changed for me is my mindset of being intentional with my life and the choices that I make in it. And I know this is not revolutionary at all, but for me, it really was. And the simplest things have really brought such a strong foundation in my life that I think have really helped me to make decisions that makes most sense to me and that I know is most aligned with me. I'm just at a point in my life where I think it's really helpful to know the way I go about things and what my main intentions are, because then it helps me to make decisions and choices that align with that. But yeah, I just want to continue actioning on my thoughts and making them purposeful for me, because I just want to develop my understanding of things and of myself and of my thought processes. And I hope this will help inform my actions even more, because I think it's very important to be well informed. And like I said, have that understanding and being able to act because of knowing where it's coming from. I just hope these reflections and thoughts can just be carried beyond just myself and my mind in this current season of my life and to my future self, because I know in the future I hope that I will have more wisdom and knowledge, and maybe even this video that I'm saying now will help bring myself back to a lot of things that I think will be helpful. And I just hope that I continue to just be intentional and that I can have this video as a reminder to myself of why I think it's important. But yeah, I think it's just a nice addition to have it visually represented like this, to have other people be able to receive the reflections that I have, because I think it's such a big topic. And although I could go about intentionality and a lot of the concepts in this video very much more intensely and in detail, I think I'm just trying to get the main points. It's been so nice to be out today because it was such a lovely sunny day. It was just a perfect day to film, and I very much enjoyed using this mic outside. I felt very pro. But yeah, it's been very nice to have a lot of good feedback on my first video that started this channel. But yeah, I'm just very excited for this new chapter of creating. I very much missed this type of process. But yeah, there's many more videos to come. But for now, that is it for this video. I hope that it was an enjoyable watch and it made you think or reflect about anything. I think it is now sunset, so I will stay out for a little bit longer and enjoy the sunset at the beach. I don't know when I'm going to post this, but I hope that you have a good rest of the day, whoever's watching this, and I will be back with another video. Hopefully in not too long.